All right, team, let's get right into it. We need to talk about the US dollar, because right now, what you're seeing on your screens, well, it's a puzzle. The price action is telling us one story, but the good old economic fundamentals, they're telling a completely different one. In this briefing, we're going to crack that puzzle and pinpoint where the real opportunity is hiding.
So, here's the central mystery we're facing. The dollar has become totally unhinged from its traditional drivers, things like interest rates. Honestly, you can throw out the old playbooks because right now, they are useless. The question we have to answer is simple. What is really moving this market? And more importantly, how do we position ourselves to trade it?
Now, just look at this chart. See that massive widening gap between the current price and that fair value line? That right there, that's the entire story in one picture. The Euro USD is trading on something completely different from fundamentals, and whatever that something is, it has pushed the pair into a serious overvaluation. This isn't just market noise, folks. This is a clear, screaming signal.
Okay, so if fundamentals are out the window, what's left? What's in the driver's seat? Well, it boils down to three powerful forces: politics, sentiment, and, most critically, flows. These are the real drivers right now, and believe me, they are weaving a very powerful narrative in the market.
And the narrative that's taken hold is pretty straightforward. Sell the US. We're seeing political uncertainty really spooking the market. But, and this is a huge but, here's the twist. It's not about selling US assets. It's about selling the dollar itself. A very important distinction.
And we don't have to guess, because the data proves it. Just look at these flows. Capital is absolutely pouring into US stocks and bonds. So let's be crystal clear. Foreign investors are not selling the United States. They're selling the dollar. They're hedging their currency exposure because they want the assets, they just don't want the currency risk that comes with them. Which brings us to the most important question for our positioning. What is the smart money doing? Right? Because if you really want to know where this market is headed, you have to follow the money. You have to follow the flows. And here is the bottom line, the one thing you need to burn into your mind. In this market, flow is king, period. It will trump fundamentals every single time, especially in the short to medium term. Your job is not to fight this powerful trend, your job is to ride it. And the price action, that's your only reliable guide. This chart right here, it lays out the entire playbook for you. See that enormous green bar on the far right? That's precious metals, the undeniable winner in this environment. And now, notice the negative performance of the USD. That is not a coincidence. This is a clear, calculated rotation out of the dollar and into hard assets. So if you were to boil it all down, this is the consensus trade. This is what the big players are doing. They are short the dollar, and they're using that to go long basically everything else. Euros, emerging market currencies, and of course, precious metals. And notice that last point. They are not sitting on cash. This is an all-in bet on this weak dollar narrative continuing. Now, all of this positioning, all this money sloshing around, it's all building up to one single massive event on the horizon, the FOMC meeting. This is the catalyst. This is the moment that could either pour gasoline on this trend or blow the whole thing up completely. You have the entire market leaning heavily to one side of the boat, completely expecting a dovish Fed. And that right there is exactly what makes the situation so incredibly dangerous. The real risk here, the potential black swan event, is a hawkish surprise. If the Fed chair pushes back against these rate cut expectations, this very crowded trade could unwind in an instant, and it will not be pretty.
And if you think you can just predict how the market's going to react, think again. These charts show you just how brutal and chaotic FOMC days can be. We're talking about wild, vicious, unpredictable swings, where the initial move is almost always a head fake designed to trap you. This is not a time to be a hero. This is a time to manage your risk like your career depends on it.
So the billion-dollar question, how do you trade this? How do you navigate this absolute minefield? Let's break it down into a simple, actionable game plan.
Here it is, your 4-step playbook. Number 1, acknowledge the reality. Respect the flow. Don't fight the tape. 2, know what the consensus is doing. They're short the dollar for a reason. 3, keep your eyes locked on the catalyst, the FOMC. And 4, and this is the most important, brace for impact. Prepare for volatility and manage your risk above all else. That is how you stay ahead of the game.
For more insights just like this, make sure you follow Amon Capitals on Facebook and TikTok, and check out our website at amoncapitals.com.
I'll just leave you with this one final question to think about. As we head into this Fed decision, are you positioned to profit from the chaos, or are you about to get run over by it? The answer could define your entire quarter.